Hey there. I'm making another video right now before I go to sleep. Um, did I really have to announce everything I'm going to do in life on these video commentaries? I just thought about that. Anyway, suffice to say, I'm here for another video. And before I get started, if you like what you hear, please press like and comment. Comment any ways you disagree with it. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're kept up to date with what I have to say. Okay, let's talk about Dick Cheney, our former vice president, and his daughter, Liz Cheney, Congresswoman at large in the one huge congressional district in the state of Wyoming. Let's get started with former Vice President Dick Cheney. He's a war criminal. He should be behind bars. And I am angry that the Democrats in Congress did not go after George W. Bush and Dick Cheney for what they did with the invasion of Iraq, lying to get us into war, and endangering our troops and making the world less safe as a result. Um, the domestic civil liberties violations that took place, such as the Patriot Act, the Department of Homeland Security, where they could tap your phone lines and monitor your emails and pretty much just have our government keeping track of us. And let's not forget the a crime of torture, enhanced interrogation that takes place in Guantanamo Bay. I mean, these issues alone, as I said, I think that Dick Cheney should be behind bars. Now, Liz Cheney, the daughter, as I say, she is the congresswoman at the at-large congressional district in the state of Wyoming. Her foreign policy positions is that of her father's. Can't say that she's necessarily responsible for anybody's death, since you know there's not been any particular new war situations where she has the power to do the vote. And I'm not being partisan. Joe Biden voted for the Iraq War as a U.S. Senator in 2002. So did Hillary Clinton. So did John Kerry. So, I mean, if it sounds like I'm beating up on Republicans, just save it. I think they're war criminals too. So, let me continue. We have a situation where, as I said, she her policies is that of her father's. Now, I know I talk a lot about Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. She's a dangerous woman, but so is Liz Cheney in different ways. Well, I mean, my position on Dick Cheney already. If you know my position on George W. Bush, you know what my position is going to be on Dick Cheney. So, and to prove that I'm not being partisan about this, um, I was listening to Jack Hunter last night, and what he had to say in his commentary call. Liz Cheney told the biggest lie of all, and I can't help but agree with him. I will tell you about Jack Hunter real quick. He used to be a talk show host for WTMA Charleston, South Carolina, 1250 a.m. He served as an aide to Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky. He is essentially a paleo conservative with libertarian leanings. Um, the the controversy about him is, and I personally think that it's been that that some of the attacks against Jack Hunter has been vicious. That he's been some people call him a racist or what have you. Um, I think he has a love for the region of the South, but I don't necessarily think that's going to always translate into racism. I've listened to some of his commentaries over the years, and the reason I'm convinced that he's not a racist is because of Barack Obama. I listened to his commentaries on Barack Obama over the years. Um, Mark Levin and Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity were more racist toward Barack Obama than this Southern gentleman. Jack Hunter discredits the birther movement. He thinks that birther movement is BS. He believes Barack Obama was born in Hawaii. He does not believe that Barack Obama is a quote unquote Muslim radical. And his only problem with Barack Obama when he was president was policy. As I said, people who hated Obama on policy, that's fine. People who hated Obama because of the color of his skin, that's not good. And I am convinced that Jack Hunter, I'm obviously not going to agree with Jack Hunter on everything, but as far as conservative talk radio and conservative talking heads, there he's not that bad, folks, as far as that's concerned. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play from his commentary, his position with regard to Liz Cheney and her dad, Dick Cheney. So sit back and relax, and we shall get started. Hold on.
When Mitt Romney recently tweeted, "Liz Cheney refuses to lie," he was talking about her comments on the legitimacy of the last election. Let's instead talk about the legitimacy of Liz Cheney. This woman and her father still believe in the biggest and most damaging lie in modern American history, that the Iraq War was right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cheneys.
Any regrets about going into Iraq?
No, it was the right thing to do then. I believed it then. I believe it now.
No apologies.
No apologies.
And again, history has proven that you got it wrong as well in Iraq, sir. You said there was no doubt Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. You said, what do you say to those who say you were so wrong about so much at the expense of so many?
No, I just fundamentally disagree, Megan. You've got to go back and look at the track record. We inherited a situation where there was no doubt in anybody's mind about the extent of Saddam's involvement in weapons of mass destruction.
They lied.
Okay.
They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. There were no weapons of mass destruction.
All right.
Some would argue that the real problem was that we went into Iraq in the first place.
Well, I'm well known as somebody who strongly defended that. I know the right thing to do, and I still believe that.
Wouldn't change it.
You don't have to agree with Donald Trump on everything or anything to know that he got Liz Cheney right when he recently called her a warmongering fool. Because not only does she still defend the Iraq War and would like to start another one in Iran, she still defends U.S. torture, black sites, and all the other neocon war on terror tactics that undermined American values.
Do you believe what happened in the killing of bin Laden vindicates your father was a fierce, strong advocate, is to this day, of enhanced interrogations, black sites, rendition policies, all the things that President Obama canceled?
I think that it certainly shows that those programs worked. I think
For the record, I don't think the election was stolen. I do believe perceptions that it was are not helpful or healthy. But those concerns pale in comparison to the fear that Liz Cheney and her lying pro-war version of the Republican Party might take control again one day. No doubt Mitt Romney would favor that too. Liz Cheney needs to be removed from leadership and hopefully the Republican Party. And given her history of big and unforgivable lies, any reason will do.
Okay. Well, as I said, there's really little to disagree with there, and as I said, he didn't go into conspiracy theories about how supposedly Donald Trump was cheated in this election or what have you. And the thing about it is that war became no longer a partisan issue. I've said this before, and I'll say it again many times. I when I was protesting a lot of almost every other weekend during the Iraq War, I seemingly started seeing, Libertarian Party members, people who were on the Ron Paul bandwagon, disgruntled Republicans who were pissed off with George W. Bush and his presidency. And as I said, these people, of course, I'm not going to agree with everything they have to say, but you know what? The fact is that you know, leftists, true leftists, not talking about your establishment liberals, but true leftists and people who are truly conservative, paleocons, not the establishment, garden variety, Sean Hannity, Heritage Foundation bullshit Republicans, but your Ron Pauls and your Rand Paul Republicans, as well as your Dennis Kucinich Democrats and your those who follow Bernie Sanders on the left, and independent people like Ralph Nader, all kind of see eye to eye that the military industrial complex and the war machine that and the war frenzy and the Washington consensus that dominates both parties is bullshit. And so, as I said, I chose Jack Hunter because I don't want to sound partisan, and I'm giving you an example of where a conservative will kind of have a kind of an overlapping and share point of view when it comes to things like Dick Cheney and his daughter Liz Cheney. Anyway, suffice to say, if you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree, well, that's fine. We can have our disagreements. Comment anyway. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you that if you have a platform, please utilize it because we're the muckrakers of our time. And most importantly, hit that subscribe notification bell, that subscribe button, so you're kept up to date. And until next time, I am American Social Democracy. Peace and class struggle yesterday, class struggle today, class struggle tomorrow, and class struggle until we have full economic and social justice for all.